I haven't seen the film yet, so I don't know if they have been screening it or not. I haven't had a chance to see it, but I've seen the trailer. Okay, I didn't know if they'd screened it. But I have seen the trailer, and it looks like a hell of a lot of fun. So I guess let's just start from the beginning. How did this idea come about? How did you guys get together on it? And we'll just start from the top.
There you go. Well, I had this idea while I was in Bulgaria, of all places, and then I started to. Once I got back home, I did a kind of a photo shoot as the character, and Scott and I got together, and I've been wanting to work with Scott for the last 10 years, and we finally found a project that we wanted to do together, which was this one. Because when Scott was excited about it, that excited me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, Scott just doesn't do any movie.
Right.
He's got his integrity is right where it's right where it needs to be. I feel we feel the same way about the projects we work on, especially if it's going to have our names to it. Like this is something that came out of my head, and it's going to be an effort of producing and writing and acting. So like he says, it's like a marriage.
Right.
Making a movie is like a marriage, and also I say making a movie is like a war. You want to go into war with your friends. So this became we had joint custody of this baby basically. So and Scott is a great cat to work with. We just have this symbiosis that started when we worked together the first time.
Yeah. Scott, talk about working with Michael. Is everything just kind of fall into place? I mean, Michael was saying it's like a marriage. Obviously, you have to have some, that sense of trust with your actors, when you're directing a film.
When I'm saying marriage, I was talking about marriage.
I am not implying anything.
You're married to the movie. We're both married to the same movie. Okay. Folks out there going,
polygamous relationship.
You know what Michael John White told me the other day?
What's funny is I haven't directed a movie without Mike.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's like to do one.
Yeah.
I mean, we just have a really good creative relationship, and I think we balance each other out, and it's just fun because it feels like...
He completes me. Man, this is turning so gay.
We could just run with it.
We did this, we gotta say this story. We did this photo shoot once where they're like, okay, you do the photo shoot. Now, okay, Scott, Mike, you get behind Scott, and Scott, you bend over, and Mike, you go like this. It's like what?
Like, hell no. What if you use that picture?
I win.
What does that mean?
And the quote above that photo is going to be, "The film is like a marriage."
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, obviously, you guys click with one another, and I mean that is really important, especially when you're making a movie. Now, with this film, I mean, surely there's certain obvious influences. I mean, I'm a big fan of like Fred Williamson movies. There certainly seems to be that kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
What were some of your biggest influences, or what were some of your favorite influences going into this?
Well, I think the movie, the plot is influenced by Three the Hard Way. So that's Fred Williamson,
Right.
Jim Kelly, Jim Brown. I think just we love the Mac, Willie Dynamite, Avenging Disco Godfather. What's in there? Dolomite.
Yeah.
Human Tornado.
Okay.
We go through the whole Dolomite thing.
Yeah.
Truck Turner. We watched a lot of Truck Turner. I don't know why Truck Turner is. And actually, they told me Michelle
Nichols. Yeah, she was on the panel.
The panel yesterday.
Yeah. Today.
Oh, it's today. It's today. Yeah.
Michelle Nichols came.
You ever seen Truck Turner with Michelle Nichols in?
With Michelle Nichols as in Star Trek, Michelle?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. What is?
Talk about a badass. That was the
craziest performance ever.
Really?
She was the
insane.
baddest of the badass women I've ever seen on screen. It's like
she is like completely like hysterically shrill and like crazy during that movie.
Yeah, I mean, see,
that nigga Chuck Turner dead.
And she's so sweet. At first,
Knocks and pennies.
it's like, oh my goodness, she was. Ooh.
Yeah, she's like nuts in that film.
Yeah.
now, how is it like when you're making a movie like this? Is there ever a concern about maybe taking things too far, or is it just one of those things where you leave the door open and you say, well, anything goes, let's just have fun with it, no matter what?
Yeah, we talk. Well, with those movies, they have lines which we felt. I mean, their line was a little. Not all of them. I mean, I think we were more outrageous than a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain lines that were crossed in blaxploitation movies that we didn't cross, and you just have to make a judgment call on that. I mean, I think, you don't want to do something that somebody gets stuck on. You know what I mean? Like they're like, the movie's still moving along, and you're like, what the? He just, you know what I mean? Like you just have to feel what is funny and appropriate and like what you want to do out. But that being said, given the scope of the films and given how much they pushed it, we certainly were able to push it lots of things far beyond they go by 2009 standards. So.
Right.
Yeah, there are movies that they had back then that's like way out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, absolutely. Whew, yeah.
Like the James Fanaka movie, the one where his penis grows and he strangles
chokes people.
Is that Welcome Home, Brother Charles?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's like you got it.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Or the Fred Williams, the one.
Where he rapes.
Yeah, he rapes Gloria Hendry.
Yeah.
He's the hero.
Yeah.
I mean, how many movies you have like today where like your lead hero actor just rapes like his co-star, and then they just kind of move on,
Well, it seems to me like when I remember watching the trailer and thinking to myself, because especially within the last few years, there has been kind of this pattern of people trying to make these grindhouse type films, but it never seems like they quite get it. Like they're trying to do a tribute to it, but it just doesn't quite play right. And this was the first time I remember seeing a trailer thinking, they got it. They nailed it. They did exactly what they were trying to do, and so to me, it seems like you guys got it right. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen the film. I'm really anxious to see it, but just based on what I saw in the trailer, it looks pretty phenomenal. So, I mean, are you? I'm assuming you're very pleased with the finished product.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know what? I think it's just we wanted to make a movie like that, and it becomes a series of little battles, and each person has their own series of battles to deal with. Like, I mean, just things that like Mike sets out as like, I'm going to be a blaxploitation hero, and there's like little things that he did within the movie that like even now, like 50 viewings, like, it's like, oh, that's what you were doing. You were doing this. Like, I don't know if you did it on purpose, and you can claim you did. Like all the blinking when you were doing the nunchucks.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like Jim Brown blinks when he's shooting a gun.
Yeah.
Just little things that like, I mean, those are all just little things that add up to a big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, and so we were very fortunate that everybody took that attitude on their job. Like they would watch the movies. Like, when I talked to the cinematographer, it's like, okay, what are we going to do to make it look exactly like that? And let's be honest with ourselves, because to me, digital doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching it and I'm watching a fake line going through the movie, and it just looks like, okay, somebody went into, Final Cut and put like the plug-in that's called fake scratches on.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that way.
Yeah, as I was saying, they don't get it.
Yeah,
I mean, they're going for it, but they don't get
They're
it.
going for it, but it's just
Yeah.
like I don't think they're like being like 100. Like when you're watching something that does that, are you saying, okay, that looks like something from the 70s? It's like, not really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's cutesy stuff, and we
Yeah.
wanted to stay away from that. And then,
You guys imagine this being like a series of films, maybe doing some more films with the same character?
absolutely.
Yeah. Was that part of the plan?
Yeah, that's what we'd like to.
Yeah.
I think the audience decides that on some level, but we certainly,
Well, because that was one of the things that, I mean, we were talking about, like, some of the greater films back then, you talk about the Shaft films, had, Shaft in various different places, and so would this be the kind of thing where you could maybe take Black Dynamite, somewhere just totally, off the wall?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Love to see it happen.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, I know they want us to wrap up, so thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to this.
Good to see you.
Hey, it's good to see you, Mike. Yeah, take care. Scott, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, good meeting you.
Yeah, thank you so much.